Hello and welcome to another video from Midas Touch Toys, Games, Collectibles. And today we are looking at something that's now quite old and becoming harder and harder to find because they're all produced in limited quantities. We are looking at the 2010 release by Mattel from their Masters of the Universe Classics series of action figures. And now these action figures were launched at the 2010 Santiago Comic Com by Mattel. And these figures ran for I think about 5 years, from 2010. I think the very last were issued in 2015. A few figures that were stragglers behind that should have been released in 2014, but they went over to 2015. So the series did actually run for about 4 or 5 years until Mattel decided that was it, they've had enough now, and they dropped the line. But they're absolutely awesome figures, and these are figures that were not designed for children to play with. These are designed for the adult collectors. So really good detailing figures. Okay, so this particular one we're looking at today is of Whiplash, who was the evil Tail-thrashing Warrior, who aligned himself with Sculpted. And this is the figure in front of us. So you can see at the top it says Master of the Universe Classics, Adult Collector, Whiplash, Evil Tail-thrashing Warrior figure. And just behind the bubble you can see the figure itself. But before we have a good look at the figure, what I'd just like to do is turn the card around and let's have a look at what we've got printed on the back. Okay, so I turn the box around and this is what we've got on the back. So it says Masters of the Universe Classics. So these are other figures in the same series. So you've got Scareglow, Evil Ghost Serving Skeletor. You've got Skeletor, Evil Lord of Destruction. Evil Lyn, Evil Warrior Goddess. Trapjaw, Evil and Armed for Combat. Whiplash, Evil Tail-thrashing Warrior. And Webster, Evil Master of Escape. So the figures that they produced here are all broken down into different categories. So you had the heroic warriors, you had the great rebellions, you had the ancients, and you had the evil warriors. And this lot on the back here is of the evil warriors from the 2010 release. And it was those 6 that were released in 2010. Okay, so at the bottom it says Whiplash, Evil Tail-thrashing Warrior, real name Torrent Krazat. Following their father's untimely death, Tarrant grew up bitter under the rule of his older brother Serasus. After years of brooding in Subterranean, he struck a deal with a surface dweller named Keldor and helped feed his forces in a raid against Randor's army during the Great Unrest. Although Keldor's plan failed, Torrent was banished from Subternia for betraying his people. He was taken in by his former employee and quickly rose up through the ranks, staying with Keldor even after his transformation into Skeletor, serving as his chief brute squad enforcer. His thick hide and stubborn intellect have made him more than a match for the Masters of the Universe, often leaving only He-Man to defeat him. Whiplash uses his thrashing tail for doom and destructions. And it says mateycollector.com, and it says collect them all. Each sold separately, subject to availability. Some figures may no longer be available. Colours and decorations may vary. Okay, so that's the back of the card. So let's now turn the card back around to the front and have a good look at the figure itself. Okay, so I've zoomed right in on the figure himself, and there you can see the facial sculpting of Whiplash, and I must say he does look incredible. I'm just going to try and move him forward so we get a better view of his whole face without the light causing too much reflection on the bubble. As you can see, I mean, it's done remarkably well. The sculpting is absolutely superb, and he really does look the part. Really very good design figures these are, and they look absolutely true to the figures in the television series. Obviously I'm aware it's obviously animated television series, but so it'd be pretty much difficult for me to get it wrong really, but I mean, they've done remarkably well, and all of his attire is exactly as you see him. So his vest and his pants, the muscles bulging from his legs, and his boots at the back there, and this, again, the muscles bulging from his arms. They really work out. These are like wrestlers. That's what these type of figures are. Okay, and that it's incredible figure there, and he obviously comes with his accessories. So he's holding his spear, which he uses in battle, and if we just turn around to the side there, you can see his fork, which he also uses in battle. And if you can see his tail at the back there, just between the back of the board there. Now the tail does actually swish from side to side. I can't actually get a good view of it from the you just see down the back there, the top of it, but I can't actually give you a really good view because I can't see it very well myself actually. But needless to say, that's the best view that we got of the tail, is between his legs there, at the back. You can just see the tail coming down, but the tail does swish. So as it says on the bottom of the box there, Tail-thrashing Warrior. So it does thrash from side to side to battle against his enemies. And also in the bottom corner there, you've got the classic head. So from the very early He-Man, Master of the Universe, that's how he looked in the early programs. And then you've got the modern head, which is currently on his top of his shoulders there. But the heads are interchangeable, so you pop one off and you can pop the other one on. So that's how these figures work. But these figures are absolutely brilliant. Mattel have done tremendously well in the manufacture and sculpting of these. They are absolutely superb. Let's get some sizes. So we're looking at a height here of about 17 centimeters, which is in inches, we're looking at 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, about 7 inches in height. Width-wise, going across the body, we're looking at about 9 centimeters. And if we measure from the back where his tail is to the front of him, we're looking at about 5 centimeters, depending on how far his arms go out. So between 5 and 6 centimeters. So they're nice size figures. All of these Mattel ones were. They really did make them as a nice size figure, and they display absolutely fantastically. Personally, for me, I'd never take them out of the box. I'd leave them in display because you've got that backdrop on there, and you've got the front of the box at the bottom there, and they just it looks so awesome standing as he is in the packet there. So personally, I would never take him out, but I know a lot of people have actually removed them and they've got them in displays, and they do look just as awesome. So it's up to you, whatever you prefer, but for me it would just be display the figure as it is here, because I think my opinion is it looks great. Okay, how well did these figures do? Well, yep, as with all of the Masters figures, they've all done well over the course of the years. This classic range was no difference to that, although the quantities on these classic ones, because these were made for adults rather than for kids, the quantities were much lower than the original He-Man Master of the Universe figures that were produced for the kids to play with. So these figures are really made for display. They're for the adult collectors, 14, 15, 16 years up. They are, and obviously the quality is a lot better. The sculpting is superb, and the accessories all fit in to scale. So yeah, specifically designed, but they were obviously, as they were collector items, they're a lot more expensive than the figures were for the kids back in 80s. So yes, they sold reasonable amounts of them, good quantities of what was produced. Obviously with these figures, they only run them for a certain amount of time. They produced this particular figure. They decided that we're going to do, for example, X amount. Once they've hit that, that figure is discontinued, finished, and then they move on to the next ones. So these were the 2010 range, and then there was more in 2011, 2012, 2013, and 2014. And of course, the last few were released in 2015. And the first batch, the very first batch, was released in 2009. Okay, now fast forward 15 years to 2024. Do these figures come up for sale on the platforms? Well, very, very occasionally they come up for sale like this, complete in the sealed packet. You do see more of them on the platforms loose, but finding them complete in the original packet sealed like this is very, very difficult, and when they do come up, they are demanding big money. So yes, they do, but expensive. Unless you just want a loose figure, then you can pick them up quite easily on the platforms. However, we at Midas Touch have managed to find a massive quantity of these Master of the Universe figures, all from a shop which closed down just before COVID, I would say. I think about 2018 it closed due to the owners retiring, and they had not long had deliveries from the States of all these Master of the Universe classic figures, and they had some on the shelves, and there was quite a few cases in the back which we purchased as they were retiring. We bought all their stock, and we are now working our way through the stock, which has been in our warehouse now for a good number of years, but we're working our way through them, and we found a few cases of these in the warehouse, and we're starting to go through the Master of the Universe figures and upload them onto the website. So this particular figure you can find on the Midas Touch website, which you can get to very simply by clicking the link below. It will take you straight to the website, where you'll be able to find this and all the other Marvel of the Universe figures from the same series, which we have started to upload, and many other vintage toys, games and collectibles. There's over 10,000 products currently available on the website for you to view and purchase at your leisure. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button, because we're uploading videos for every new item that goes into the website. There will be something for everybody, and I am absolutely positive that this is something you won't want to miss, because we literally have thousands and thousands of new products which we're shooting videos for and uploading on a daily basis. So if there's something in particular you are looking for, something old that you never been able to find, something quirky you might want to buy for a friend, or perhaps just something from your childhood that you'd like to own again to help you recuperate those long lost childhood memories, well, stay tuned, keep watching, because you never know, the next item we upload could be that item you've been looking for. Okay, that is it for me on this particular item. I do hope you've enjoyed reviewing this wonderful, wonderful classic figure with me. Thank you for watching, and we will see you again next video. So bye for now.